right, welcome back everyone for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. I'm talking about all the things I'm looking forward to read, some books that got some buzz, some incentive variants that might be selling for a bit of a premium already, just some cool theme variants and fun things that you need to keep an eye out for when you go to the shop this Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And while you're at it, go check out my channel, Toy Informer. That's my other channel where I cover collectibles that are not comic related. We're talking about toys, video games, etc. So if you like other things besides just comics, that'll be another channel for you to go and check out, as I do a lot of fun stuff over there as well. But if you're here just for this week's new comics, don't worry. I got you covered, and I will get to them as soon as this little short intro is over. All right? So just hang in there. All right, so first up, we will start off with my personal picks. This is actually a very light week, not only just for me, but I think in general, as all of these segments are pretty light as far as books go. So with the holidays coming, I think it's a good thing to start off the month on a lighter week. So let's just get into it and see what we got for you guys. So Absolute DC still doing well all across all three titles that they've released so far. Now we get our next installment, the second issue of Absolute Superman. While this is my least favorite of the three series, it's just, maybe they can capture me with a little bit more. I don't know. I just didn't love it. Reading that first issue was just like a lot of background, whatever. I get it. You're changing, his history on Krypton, but honestly, I don't really care all that much. That's all. It's not that interesting to me, but it is what it is. That said, we're getting issue 2 here, so maybe some more interesting things happen. Maybe it captures my attention a little bit more, but we have multiple covers, including the cover A. We got B's, C's, and D's, and yes, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, these all kind of look the same, don't they? Just a quick glance, it's just flowy cape, Superman, orangey background. Flowing cape, Superman, a little bit more blue, but still orangey glow. Hey, Superman, cape, a lot of fire, and a orange background. So yeah, pick whichever one you like best out of the bunch, because they all look the same to me. And if you want to pay a little bit extra, you want to get one of the variants, well, we got some more orangey backgrounds in Superman with flowy capes for you. Boom, we got a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50, which is just a virgin version of that limited trade dress middle cover anyway. So okay, cool. Again, pick them up, whichever one that you like. I'm fine just getting the cover A just to give this thing a read and see where this story is going, because, I'm not going to write it off just yet. I'm just saying I was kind of underwhelmed so far. With that said, I have not been a fan of the current run on Venom. Venom War, I made jokes. I mean, with the Extreme Venomverse, Return to Venomverse, Death of Venomverse, this Venomverse, Venom War, Venom symbiote, here, there, everywhere. I was tired. That said, now that Venom War is over, we got a new Venom. I'll admit, I'm curious of who it is. We don't know who the new Venom is going to be. We know it's not Eddie Brock, because he's going to be however you pronounce Carnage backwards is. Egnorak, I don't know. However you say Carnage backwards, I guess that's going to be Eddie Brock, and I don't know where Dylan's going to end up. But a lot of fun theories on who the new Venom could be. I like the idea. Maybe it's Luke Cage. I forget who else they kind of threw out there, but Luke Cage seemed to be the most interesting one to me. I could be down for a Luke Cage Venom. That said, we'll find out. Supposedly it's going to be a mystery over this first story arc, so we'll see. I'll give it a try. I read a few pages of the preview on this book, so I'm curious and want to see where this one goes. Issue 1, cover A here. Al Ewing going to be telling us this tale. A lot of covers. As they've been doing most of these Venom covers, we have almost like a redo of the cover A, but in a more cartoony fashion. And then we got another Venom cover there in the middle. Then we got a wraparound there over on the side. Here's to give you a better sense of what the wraparound looks like. I think that's Humberto Ramos, I think, doing the wraparound on that one. I mean, it's a Venom cover. Then we got the stupid logo covers. We got a splat in the middle. We even got one with shiny gold foil if you want shiny gold foil. And if you want some incentives, they got you covered here too from the hidden gems with the largest bottom jaw in the world that Eric Larson could possibly draw. I mean, I don't know how his mouth closes. It it doesn't line up. And then we just got a version of the Stephen Platt there in the middle for the 1 in 100. I mean, that's cool. And then they just can't get past this horse thing. I don't know what this infatuation with Venom horses and Venom riding a horse is. It just seems silly to me. It's just like that Darth Vader riding a horse. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. But looking at the 1 in 100, it's right around ratio. It's not really setting the world on fire or anything just yet. Recent sales, 90, $100. Even the asking prices, yes, there are some looking for 125, 135. There's even like a $200 ask out there, but there's also copies listed for as cheap as $80. So we'll see where this one kind of plays out. These are all pre-orders, mind you, but that's why they're on the watch list to see what happens, by Wednesday. Like these books aren't coming out till Wednesday, so we'll see what happens. Pre-orders are nice, but a little bit of an indicator, but they don't tell the whole story. So it's just something to keep an eye on and something to watch for. I expect this to kind of linger right around that $80 to $100 kind of price point. Now, with that said, for those of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot before, I'll probably get back on there sooner or later. Probably after the holidays. I got a lot of comics I just want to get rid of. So I've been thinking about maybe even doing some sort of charity thing. I don't know. But for those of you who haven't tried Whatnot before, now's your chance. Use my link below. Get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You get to try out the platform. You help out the channel. You get yourself something nice for $15 for doing nothing but signing up. So you really got nothing to lose. Now, with that said, my reading list. Outside of those couple of books, which weren't a lot, there's not a lot of buzz. Again, there's not a lot coming out this week. I do got a few books in my reading pile. So, apart from Absolute Superman and all new Venom, I do definitely want to check out the next issue of Batman. I mean, it's Batman after all. So, I'm still on the hook for reading Batman. Looks like we're getting some more Court of Owls stuff. So, cool. Legacy issue 920. We still got a ways to go before Batman hits 1,000, but man, they're pushing it just like Spider-Man's pushing it. They're just going for those milestones as quickly as possible. Now, multiple covers here. Might not cover all of them because we will have some theme variants later on in the show. But here's the cover A. We've also got a Tony Harris there in the middle and a John Boy over on the side there. That looks like it should be or could be shiny foil, but as far as I know, it's not. And I think that's the one I requested because I do like John Boy Meyer's art, and I'm a fan. So I'm picking that one up for my Batman pile. And there are 2 incentives available as well, with Bjorn Barron's 1 in 25, which is kind of cool. With the Owls, I kind of like it. It's kind of video game Arkham Asylum vibe. And then the 1 in 50 is also pretty good. I like the Batman standing like on top of a, I don't know if it's on top of a church, but it's on a steeple of some kind with a black sun behind. It's just a cool look. It's a pretty cool cover for a 1 in 50. You can find these for cheap. You can find these for like half ratio or even less. So if you want them, they're out there. Now, also in my reading pile, and also some of my favorite covers this week. Not this one per se, but NYX number 6. Again, surprisingly kind of enjoying this stupid title. But here, we're going to get one of Marco's favorites. We're getting Mojo. I'm always down for a little bit of Mojo. So let's see where we go with Mojo here. Again, not my favorite cover of the bunch. Definitely not my favorite cover, but this is the cover A. And then the next 2 are really cool. I really like the, we got the Franny there in the middle, and I really like the Elizabeth Torque. That is the one I requested for my poll. I debated, I hemmed and I hawed about which one to get. I eventually decided, you know what? I like the other characters in the background. I don't know. I went with the Torque. But the Franny is really nice as well. And the Franny is the incentive variant on a Virgin version 1 in 50. So keep an eye out for that one too. Because like I said, I really like this too. I mean, it's done pretty well. I mean, Franny's been doing well the last couple X books, especially with the incentives. I mean, we had Mystique last week, and we got NYX this week. But early pre-sales on this one, nothing crazy. $45, so we're just under ratio with the one pre-sale I could find. Asking prices, well, 50, 58, 80. We'll see. It'll probably also end up right around that ratio mark. But even if it does end up right around ratio mark, that's kind of impressive these days because, as I mentioned with the Batman, a lot of incentive variants these days end up selling for less. Just saying. I mean, a few random pre-sales aside, once books are released and they're on the shelves and stores get all their copies, you see, by and large, a lot of these, like 1 in 50, selling for like 30, 40 bucks. 1 in 25 selling for $15, $20, just because the stores just want to get some money back. They just want to recoup some cost for all the copies they ordered. But with that said, up next, This almost fell in the gotta do it pile, but you know what? I'm just going to read it. I mean, Wolverine's never been my favorite solo title to read, but we're only 4 issues in. I'm still on board for now, seeing where this goes. Why we're doing another kind of a whip related character here with Constrictor. I mean, we just had Omega Red. I mean, kind of a similar ish power set with the whippy tentacle things. I don't know. I guess they like the imagery. But in the coils of the Constrictor with issue 4, this is the cover A. Again, we might cover some others variant covers later on, but we also have them Art of Marvel Studios, which is kind of fun. And then we do have a okay 1 in 25. I don't know, just not wowed particularly by this one, but there it is. It's particularly got a broad chest there. It's really broad Wolverine. And Wendigo in the back doesn't look like he's furry. He looks like he's wearing a jacket of some kind, and then it's got fuzzy ends. Like, he doesn't look like a Wendigo to me. But hey, it is what it is. With that Wolverine coming out, we're also getting X-Men number 8. So regular X-Men title, not Uncanny, but just plain X-Men. Issue 8, Raid on Grey Malkin, Part 1, starting a new story arc. Pretty cool cover. I kind of like the segment art here. Again, he's been kind of, to me, on the X books, a little inconsistent in me recognizing characters. It's just, I know, he did a great job on Venom. It's just here we're dealing with a large cast of characters, and making them all look interesting and unique can be a challenge for a lot of artists. It's hard to kind of differentiate characters sometimes. So haven't loved the run yet as far as the arc goes, but it's not terrible. It's almost there. But with that said, this is cover A. We got a few other options here, including a well, I guess we're doing the homage to the Jim Lee X-Men 1, but with kitties versions. Cool, I guess. I guess we need that too. So we'll be on the lookout for more of those, because here's one cover. We got three more on tap. You know how it goes. So then we got an AKA cover doing Temper there in the middle, which is pretty cool. And then another Art of the Marvel Studios cover there, which, I mean, they're all right. I mean, they're not my favorite. It's just like the action figure covers, or just the logo covers. Just some of these variant subsets just, yeah, they're kind of underwhelming to me. So I'm not even bothering doing like a short. Like, I'm not doing a short for the Art of Marvel Studios anymore. It's just kind of blah. That said, the AKA there in the middle is also the 1 in 50 when we take the trade dress off and make it the Virgin copy. So boom, there's the incentive variant for X-Men number 8. Nothing really doing as far as pre-sales go, but it is what it is. And if you just got to have it, well, just go and get it, I guess. With that said, for any of you out there who just got to have some supplies for your comics and collectibles, make sure you check out my link and my code RENA10 down below. Save yourself 10% off on all your needs there at BCW. Get your bags, your boards, your short boxes, your long boxes, your CGC boxes, the nice heavy-duty plastic cases, or just your regular old cardboard. Whatever you need, you can probably find it there. So, use the code, save some money while you do. With that said, other things that you just got to do, and I just got to do, are in this section here. So these are going to be those titles I just got to buy, see out the storylines, continue my runs, etc. May not be my favorite, top of the reading pile type of the deals, just things I'm just not letting go just yet. First up, I was okay with the first issue of Batgirl. I covered it here on my spoiler show. Might try to do another one of those this week, try to get back into a rhythm of things. But with the holidays, it's going to be kind of, my schedule's going to be a little wonky as far as the shows go. Apart from this show and the Hot 10. Anything outside of that, and probably TAC on Wednesdays, is going to be up in the air. So with that said, Batgirl number 2 is coming out, and just like last week, we got Lady Shiva again. So Lady Shiva is headlining in Batgirl, and she's also headlining over in the Black Canary boxing fight miniseries. I guess it's Lady Shiva month. With that said, looking forward to seeing where they're going with this story, where they kind of left off. Yeah, just kind of curious. I'm still on board for a little bit more. So Batgirl 2 is coming out, so I just got to do it just to kind of continue to see where it's going. We got the cover A. There's also a pretty nice cover B. Almost put that in one of my top 5s of the week as far as covers go, because I kind of dig it. And then there is a pretty fun 1 in 25 incentive variant, which has that kind of Batman in the animated series kind of homage kind of thing going there. So, but with Batgirl, pretty cool. No, no extreme pricing there. Again, you can get it for ratio, definitely under ratio, if you want to go shopping for one. On the Marvel side of things, I got to continue on with Conquest 2099. Not enjoying this run as much as I liked Annihilation 2099, but got to see it through to the end at this point, right? We're at issue 4. I think we only got one more left. So Spider-Man and Logan versus Dracula. Cool. We'll see where it goes. 3 covers here on this one. No incentives. We've got the A, and then we've got a B, which has that throwback to the old school 2099 titles with the crazy border. And then we got a pretty cool homage throwback to those old pulp type books there in the middle. I like the pulp ones. Those are the ones I've been getting. So that's probably what I'm going to do again this week. So probably getting the one in the middle. That said, moving on. Still just got to do it. The Ultimates. Again, not loving all the Ultimate titles, but they've all been fair, and I'm still reading them all. And we'll see who are the Ultimates. A new story arc begins. Perfect jumping on point for the uninitiated. Great. Yeah, I guess I'll keep going for a little bit longer. Issue 7, cover A. We've got a couple other cover options here with B's and C's. Not bad there either. And then so-so 1 in 25. Just, again, not bad. I kind of like, Wasp running down the Sif's sword there, but too much dead space at the top for me. I don't know. Just could have been filled with something. Or they could have been framed differently. Maybe move them all up. Make Wasp a little smaller. I don't know. Just saying. Not my favorite. That said, let's move on. Again, I told you it's going to be a short week. There's not a lot. There's not a lot to cover. So, we do have a bunch of new number 1s, though. Not as many as normal, but we got some new number 1s. And a lot of them are holiday themed. But we'll save those for later. First up, I didn't even know they were going to do a solo mini-series title here on Two-Face, but we're getting a Two-Face title. So, cool. I actually like Two-Face. He's one of my top Batman villains. When not played by Tommy Lee Jones, just trying to mimic what Jack Nicholson did with the Joker. Because that's what he did. That said, kind of curious for this. So, going to go check this out this week. We got Zaz showing up. That could be cool. Two-Face, number 1, multiple covers here. This is the cover A. We got B's and C's if you want right there. And then there is also a 1 in 25, which isn't half bad either. I kind of like the split. I mean, it's Two-Face after all. And then you got the kind of shadow reflection. Kind of a cool imagery. Kind of like it. Again, you can find them ratio less easily. Moving on. Thundercats, Apex. Now, I haven't been reading regular Thundercats because I was underwhelmed by the storylines and Dynamite just having way too many covers. So I tapped out very, very quickly on all the Thundercats comics. I'm just being honest. I just couldn't do it. That said, they do still have cool covers. I'm not going to say that, but here we have a new number 1 featuring this new mysterious stranger character. It's Apex. Cool. Very clear right there on the cover A across all of the covers, which were all very similar. You got a Perillo. That's kind of cool. Another one there in the middle. And then we actually also have a Mark Spears, which is kind of cool. Check out Spears there in the middle. I dig that one too. I like to kind of focus in on the claw there. That's a little something different than the rest. And we got a Jay Lee as well. So, I mean, pick up which one you like. I'm not 100% sure if I put this on my pull list, but if I did, I'd probably grab the Spears because, well, I like Spears. But with that said, let's see what else we got. On Image side of things, we are only getting this Juvenile, issue 1 of 5. So we got a new miniseries starting. New deadly virus killing everyone upon reaching adulthood. It's kind of getting like a Logan's Run kind of vibe there. Or what was that other show? What was that show? I can't remember. There was a show on the CW that had something that was not the 100, but something where only the kids were alive. That said, we'll see. Juvenile, issue 1, 1 of 5. Couple covers here. This is the cover A. There is a B cover as well. A light version and a dark version almost. And then we do have a 1 in 10 incentive if you do want to go and shop for the incentive. I believe that's Maria Lovett on that one. Pretty cool. Grab it if you like. Also, we are getting a new mini-series for Flavor Girls. Admittedly, I didn't read the first volume of Flavor Girls, so I don't know much about the series, but it is the acclaimed and beloved Magical Girls Adventure from cartoonist. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. Sorry. With that said, new story arc, new miniseries, Return to the Mothership, issue 1 coming out. So, yeah, if you're interested, we've got a cover A. We've also got a cover B for you, which is actually kind of cool. I kind of like the cover B. I like the foreign trade dress. I just think it's kind of a cool look. And with the colors, it kind of pops. I kind of like it. I don't know. That said, I don't know if I'm grabbing this one, even on a slow week, just because I don't know anything about the title. but maybe. We'll see. If the cover really grabs me, I might take a look. But with that said, moving on, we have The Long Cold Winter out of Mad Cave. Yep, Mad Cave giving us a new #1. Another not too distant future, Earth becomes unbreathable, so almost in a post-apocalyptic of a form, future story. Yeah, but if that's your cup of tea, here's a new take on it. Cover A. We also have a cover B, which is not too bad here. So check out that cover B, and that's it. So you got those two options, A and a B. Not too bad. I like the limited choices. It's definitely more palatable than what Dynamite gives us. That said, for all you old school Google Plus fans, you remember when Niobe was a thing? Yeah, old school, back in the Unimpressible Defects days. That Niobe and Stranger. They used to have Stranger on Defects now and again, and Niobe was a big deal back then. They even got a couple of covers made. Old CBSI days. But here we go, a new volume of Niobe coming out. So Stranger's giving us a cover A as well as a cover B, I believe by Jay Lee. And then I think there's some other covers that might be mixed in there as well. But the only one that really caught my eye was this Blade homage. That is one of those. It's not a incentive, but it is a more expensive #1. Kind of like Antarctic's been doing, even Keen Spot's been doing these, where the buy-in is just more. So it's $20, like from the buy-in. So it's a $20 cover for this edition. It's not a 1 in 20. It's not a 1 in 10. It's just a $20 edition. So grab it if you like it. It's kind of cool, but I don't know if it's $20 cool. That said, let's get into the Christmas stuff. So first up, Dark Horse is giving us Christmas 365 from creators Mikey Way from My Chemical Romance. Cool. And Jonathan Rivera and Cave Carson and his Interstellar Eye. Yeah, all right. Bizarre holiday comic. All right. Check it out, I guess. If you're in the mood for some holiday hijinks in your comic books, here's an option. You got a one-shot coming your way. I believe it's just a one-shot out of Dark Horse. And speaking of one-shots, Top Cow is also going to give you a one-shot. So if you don't like horses, here's a cow. And you got Aphrodite 9, Witchblade, The Darkness, telling some anthology stories about Christmas inside the guts of this thing, I'm assuming. With that said, also getting on the action is Marvel with Holiday Tales to Astonish. Gold Marvel, another anthology book. It's only $6, not too bad. So grab this if you like this. There is a couple options here. Cover A, pretty fun callback there with that middle cover. I believe that was an old holiday card with the original Marvel type characters. Here we got like Miles and Sam Wilson, kind of replacing some of the classics. And then we also have another classic there with the Fantastic Four option there as well. And if you really like classics, then you're going to want the 1 in 50 because I believe this is a Hidden Gems variant there. So go and pick that one up if you can find it, because right now it's pretty darn expensive. So 1 in 50, Holiday Tales to Astonish #1. Only found one sale. Sold for about that $50 mark. But the asking prices of the ones that are out there now are looking for $80, $125, $150. Doesn't mean they're going to get all those prices. I'm just telling you that's what's being asked for right now. And there are no $50 options just yet. Who knows what will happen comes Wednesday, but just something to keep an eye on. All right. With that, we forgot about DC. DC, apart from continuing, I think there's issue 2 of Silent Night Returns or whatever, the Batman, and we had Magic Mike Santa in 1 in 25. Yeah, we're getting issue 2 this week because they're doing a weekly for that title. But we're also getting DC's Batman Smells Robin Laden Egg, because why not, right? We're going to do the old jingle, sing the song. I guess we got to make a $10 comic out of it. I don't really know if that's necessary, but they're doing it anyway. So if you want to spend $10 on a Batman holiday anthology book, they got you covered. Cool. Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin Laden Egg. Oh, Batmobile Losses. Oh, the whole thing. You know it. They made a comic out of it. $10 though. Cover A. Then there's B's and C's available too. No incentive, so open on the other ones. I kind of dig the one in the middle. Is that a Bermejo? Kind of feels like it's a Bermejo or a Barron's. I'm not sure. I can't remember who did the art on the other covers, but I kind of like the one in the middle. But with that said, DC's not done there with their holiday themed hijinks. So apart from this, and like I said, the Silent Night, We are also getting the start of their Winter Wonderland Christmas card covers. You remember they've been doing these kind of lately? Last couple of years, they do almost like Christmas card covers on a handful of titles. So this week, we are only getting one. We are getting Batman on Batman 155. So there you go. Yeah, Chrissy Zulo. I like these. I liked her Halloween covers that we got last Halloween. You remember those? Those are kind of fun. I like it. It's kind of cute. Kind of nice. It fits for the holiday. It's the kind of vibe you want for Christmas. But more to come in the weeks ahead. But that's the only one we've got this week coming out. But not to be left out, Marvel is also doing their own holiday themed covers, though they don't have a logo for it, and neither did DC. There's no special logo, so I had to make my own. So hopefully you enjoy my logos for these. But this is Marvel's holiday variants. We're only also getting one this week to start off the month, and we'll get more as the month continues. But Miles Morales number 27 is a variant for the holidays. I do have a list. I think there's going to be like 8 or 10 or 12, somewhere in there, 8 to 12, somewhere in that kind of range of these holiday covers coming out of Marvel. I think DC's only doing 8. Marvel's doing it's a little bit more than that, but it'll be staggered over the next few weeks. Also staggering over the next few weeks, Marvel is also giving us these Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classic covers. Now, these are basically just character designs for the Marvel versus Capcom type characters, basically Marvel characters, because we're looking at the Marvel books, but they're kind of cool nonetheless. That said, this week we're getting a handful. Starting off with Venom on all new Venom number 1. So you got the character design there. Pretty cool. We're also getting Storm, which I like a lot. So Storm looks pretty cool there. This would be on the Avengers issue number 21. Legacy, what are they up to? 787. So almost 800 issues of Avengers. You're getting there, huh? What else do we got? We've got Wolverine. So Wolverine number 4, we've got a Wolverine cover for the Marvel vs. Capcom. And one more on, I think, X-Men 8, we got a Cyclops cover. So again, they're like the character designs, the sketches for the arcade, mashup. Here's the list. This week we were supposed to also get Infinity Watch number 1, but that's actually seems to be bumped to next week's schedule. So that'll be coming out on the 11th, Infinity Watch, along with the Uncanny X-Men number 7. I'm going to have a couple of shorts to cover all of these. So if you guys are into them, keep an eye on the channel. I'll have some shorts drop and run through all these covers because I like doing those little things. It's kind of fun. Fun for me, at least. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. But with that said, we have a new month, new theme for Stormbreakers. So last month we had was like character dying or character deaths. We had some Ghost Riders before that. We had some Storms, I think, actually, after the Ghost Riders. They usually have a theme on these Stormbreakers covers. So far, it looks like it's Miss Minutes. If I were to guess, again, I don't look these things up. I just kind of guess. I think it's like a fun game for me to play when I see the Stormbreaker covers each month. And I go, what's the theme? And right out of the gate, I'm like, oh, this got to be Miss Minutes. So on Avengers Assemble number 4, see Miss Minutes right there, front and center. And then we do have a second one this week with the Wolverine number 4. And again, you see the characters there reflected in the claws. So I think it's Ms. Minutes. Cool. And then I thought maybe these were done as of November, but we got one more, at least for now. I don't know how many they're going to be. Another McFarlane Toys cover over at DC too. So, yeah, we got a Red Hood on Batman 155. We've got Red Hood falling into the vat, which we all know he's going to turn into the Joker after that. So, cool, right? Kind of fun. Also, DC is not done yet. They're also running yet another subset of variants this month, and they're doing another artist spotlight. It feels like it's been a while, but they're going back and they're spotlighting David Nakayama, which I think they've done before, but we're doing it again. And I'm not going to complain because I am a big fan of David Nakayama, so I like these covers, and I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered all of them because I think there's only a handful of them. With that said, we've got 2 this week. We got Action Comics 1078 right there. Boom. Pretty cool. Reminds me of those the Hellfire Gala covers that he did back in the day for Marvel. And then we also have this Poison Ivy, which again is a very nice cover. Once again, reminding me of those same kind of Hellfire Gala kind of fashion-esque type of covers. But he's talented. I dig him. I like it. So I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered all of these, and I think there's only like a handful. I think there's only like a half a dozen or so throughout the month, but we'll see as the month goes on. Now, speaking of covers that I like, I've only got one. Outside of the things I've already told you about, of which some of my favorites have already been covered, I only found one more random that didn't fit any other segment or any other section. And it was a cover that I think is worth looking at, and that's this one. This Tulalote for The Exorcism at 1600 Pen issue 2 out of IDW. I just really like this cover. I just like it. I like the imagery. I like the colors. I like the framing. I like the picture-in-picture kind of thing going on. Just a nice cover. But with that said, let's move on to later prints. Not a lot here. Actually, there's very, very little here. But we do have a few things to talk about in the later print section. These are not just second and third prints. We're also talking about other reprint versions as well. So, facsimiles being one of them. We have Flash Comics #1, facsimile, and then we have a blank cover if you're interested in that. And if you really want a shiny one, you get a shiny foil version as well. Flash Comics #1. All right, cool. As I mentioned, reissued, redone versions like the Noirs. I consider these also reprints, so I'm putting this here. This is basically Absolute Superman #1 reprinted in black and white. Cool. But yeah, so get this if you want this. I personally don't need it, but there it is. Not only that, they give you options. You can have the regular trade dress version, or if you don't like that trade dress, we'll give you a Virgin Foil edition. I believe, is it foil? I think it is foil. And then you've got a blank sketch as well. Cool, I guess. Then randomly, where we have Detective Comics 1090 with a second print. No incentives, nothing else doing, just this cover. All right. Second print of Detective Comics 1090. New story arc, new creative team, Tom Taylor's run. Cool, I guess. Guess that's the rationale, reason behind it. But they must have sold out enough to need the second printing, because here it is. And then lastly, we have The Fade, #1. This is at a boombox. They're a little, I don't want to say kids imprint, because it's not technically kids. It's just maybe a younger audience, like young adult as well, I believe, fits in the boombox. But maybe I'm misspeaking. Maybe it's just in some other side print that they do. But anyway, boombox #1. The boombox imprint #1 for The Fade gets a second print. So if you missed out on The Fade, here's your chance to get it. Now, I added a new section this week because, well, these really didn't fit anywhere else. I thought about putting them in oversized because, in theory, they could be oversized, but the one wasn't oversized and it wasn't technically a reprint completely. So I created a whole new category to cover occasionally, and it's the collected editions. So what does this mean? Well, previously, remember we had all like the free comic book day stories that were collected up and then they sold them to you? Things like that. That's a collected edition. Much like the backstories of Weapon Extraction that ran through a bunch of Marvel titles a month or two ago. So remember all those Wolverine Deadpool stories a couple of months back where they were running through the back of a lot of titles? Now they've collected them all up and put them into one issue, Weapon Extraction. So, collected edition. Not technically one reprint. It's like 8 reprints put into one. So, didn't really feel right in the later printing area. So, that's why we have a collected section now. With that said, $7 for these 48 pages. You can have any one of these 3 covers that you like. The one in the middle is probably my favorite. Is that Rod Reis, if I'm saying his name right? Yeah, but grab it if you want. I think I got all the individual issues that made up the story anyway, so I don't think I need this. But on top of this, now I won't be covering a lot of trade paperbacks here, but I did catch this one, and I thought it was worth talking about because I'm not sure I've seen this before, but I'm sure it's happened before. I've just not noticed it. But here we go. Ain't No Grave, Scotty Young. Great run, great read. What was it, 5 issues? Yeah, collects issues 1 through 5, 184 pages, $17, trade. Cool. If you didn't get the original series, some of them could be a little bit pricey. Get this, give it a read. It's worth a read. It's worth your time. That said, they are releasing not just, sometimes they'll release like a direct edition, like to comic book shops, not just bookstores, where it might be a direct edition cover. But from what I gather, they are doing a 1 in 10 incentive on a trade paperback, which is something I don't know if I've seen all that often. So yeah, they're going to take this cover, which I think was one of the Scotty Young store variants on issue 1. I could be wrong. I know it was a variant on issue 1, this cover, but a 1 in 10 incentive for the trade paperback. Mind you, no pre-sales as of yet, but there is one listed for $110. So I don't know if this is going to be a thing now. Are we going to start seeing incentives on trade paperbacks? If this thing becomes a hit, we might. So it's something I want to keep an eye on personally. But considering there's not a lot of copies available, one, it could be tough to find. So it could be tough to put solid numbers around it. But I still want to keep an eye on it just to see, because I'm curious. Now, with that said, man, we're rushing through it this week. I told you it was kind of a short week because we are already up to what I believe is our final segment, the Cheesecake Covers. So, with that said, here's one of my favorites of the week. I did like this cover, and it does fit this section. Action 1078. I like the Supergirl. It's kind of cartoony, a little bit of a animated kind of vibe, but I dig it. I don't know. With that said, I'm not currently reading Action because I can't handle a weekly release schedule. It's just I won't be able to keep up. I know myself I won't be able to keep up. Maybe one of these days I'll go back and check it out. If it's good, please tell me down below, and I'll try to catch up and try to keep up. But if it's just another blah, blah Superman family story as what it looks like, and they're just rushing through to make more and more issues, and then I'm fine just letting this slide. Though I do like this cover, as I said. But apart from this, we do have a 1 in 25 on this book as well. There's other covers, but they don't fit this section, so I didn't put them here. But here's a 1 in 25. A little bit of negative space action there with the suit and the background in space. Kind of cool. Again, 1 in 25, but ratio and less, so no prices to report. But moving on, while this cover may not really fit the section as well as normally, just Poison Ivy. It's Poison Ivy. Most of the covers will. It's just cover A might not. It doesn't. I like the cover A, but it's not really kind of a cheesecakey type cover, though the others are. But I still wanted to show it because it is still a nice cover. I like it. It gives you some sense of what's going on inside the book, some of the story. Not going to be mad at that. Meanwhile, Jenny Frison also giving us a pretty cool cover. Villa-Lobos giving a nice one there. Can't complain with either of those. And then we also get a pretty solid 1 in 25. Also got that kind of animation kind of vibe. And then Jenny Frison giving us a virgin version of her cover as the 1 in 50. They're all nice. They're all very pretty. Grab the one that you like. Here we go. Dynamite. Red Sonja. Every week we're getting at least a Red Sonja or a Vampirilla book. It's just standard. It's Dynamite. You're getting one of those every week, no matter what. This week it's Red Sonja, Death and the Devil, number 4. Linzer on the cover A. We also got a Celine cover there in the middle, a cosplay cover, and a Morat. I think it's Moriat. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Over on the left there. But pick the one that you like. There's also a couple others here. Oh, see, I missed that. We've got, we got a couple more here. Look at that. Issue 16, not the same thing? Oh, I'm sorry. That was last month. That was last week. So just these ones. Don't pay no attention to these two. These two don't count. I was like, wait, they did 2 cosplays? They normally don't. This is just an extra slide. So skip that one. Moving on to Tiny Island. Over the Kingdom Under the Sea. Inspired by the Japanese fairy tale. I don't know it because I don't know many Japanese fairy tales, but girl on a beach in a bikini. Can't go wrong there with the cover. So fits this section. Antarctic Press. See what's inside. Now, in a weird turn of events, this book came out like a month ago. Hell Heist. Number 1. I feel like it was a month ago. It was definitely weeks ago. And this was the cover A on that Hell Heist coming out of Zenoscope. But all of a sudden this week we're getting these covers released. So even though that was already released, we're getting this cover, which again, this fits our section here. This is the Cheesecake cover if there ever was one. It's Zenoscope after all. So we got that one. It's a Burns. Josh Burns cover right there. And then we have these Matas covers. Pretty awesome as well. This one I believe is just for cover price. Those like black and red eyes kind of draw you in. But then there is a lingerie version. I think it costs more. I don't know how much it costs more. Like Midtown had it like, put it in your cart. We'll tell you the price at the end. I'm like, well, I don't want to buy it. And I didn't feel like doing that. So I don't know what it cost. But it's a lingerie cover. And if that's not enough for you, you want to see what's under that, well, you can get that too with the Risque cover, which has been blocked off here. So still Art's good. Artists are good. Can't complain, right? And then I think our final book has a lot of covers here. This is a Keen Spot book. This is Jungle Drama Salty Beaches. Uh don't know exactly what this is. It's giving me like Archie parody vibes mixed with Sheena kind of thing. That's my guess. But here we go. We got a cover A, and then we've got a Copperstone cover right there. We've got another cover with the three of them. Okay. If you like the Copperstone, well, you can get a shiny foil version too for 20 bucks because they got that one for you. And if you don't like that and you want to pay even more, you can spend 100 bucks and get yourself a nice metal version of this same Copperstone cover. I mean, the Copperstone homages are always fun. I don't know if I need a $100 metal version of it, but if you do, you can go and get it. It's out there. And then, even though I kind of focused in on those Copperstone covers because it's probably my favorite of the bunch, there were a few other options for open order, cover price, $6 right here. So boom, boom, boom. Pick what you like. The one there with the drink kind of reminds me of it's Kelly McDonald cover. Kelly McDonald train spotting pose. I don't know. It just makes me think of that for some reason. I know she's just kind of screaming at the on the poster, but I don't know. Something about it reminded me of that. But with that all said, that's all I got. Told you it was a light week. So with that said, yeah, we're done for the day. We're done. But I still want to thank you all for the support and checking this show out every week and all the other things here on the channel. As I said, please let me know what you think down in the comments below. Good or bad, comments help. So please fire away down below. And again, tell me things I should be reading that I'm not reading. I am covering a lot of books every week, but I don't cover every book. So if there are things I should be putting in there, I should be keeping up with, please, I am open to your suggestions. There's a lot of ongoing titles that I am personally not reading, so I'm not reporting on them. But if I should be reading them because they're good, I'm talking Flash, Green Arrow, what have you. Anything that's out there. If you're reading something out there and you're like, man, this is pretty good, Pete should check it out. Hit me up. Tell me in the comments. I will give it a look-see. I will give it a try. Just like people told me about Spider-Boy. I haven't completely caught up. I'm always caught up. But we've been able to cover Spider-Boy in other senses on this list because of like first appearances of like Spider-Girl and Hulkette, etc. But we'll see if Spider-Boy continues to stay like in the reading pile or not. But that's what I'm talking about. Make your suggestions. I'll listen and I'll check them out. And with that all said, hopefully you check out everything else here in the channel, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right, bye.